So I'm here at the Land of Medicine Buddha doing my retreat, and every day I take a walk here in the woods. They have kilometers of acres upon acres of enchanted, they call it the enchanted forest, and it's pretty enchanted indeed. It's a very special place to be, and I come here always for a hike or a run. And just before you come into the forest itself, they have a walk. They call it the 8 verses loop, and every couple of meters or every few meters they have a verse from the Buddhist tradition with some comments by the Dalai Lama, and they make it really beautifully. As you see, here is one. Here's one, and then they place a little bench so you can sit and contemplate. Now this particular one, there are 8 of them, and you can walk around. It's woods everywhere, and you can sit in front of these beautiful pieces of wisdom and contemplate and meditate. This particular one has inspired me for 6 years, and I found it very hard to deeply comprehend. I understood it causally, mentally, in the realms of thought. My mind could understand it, but it took me a long time to actually truly understand it in my heart. I'm going to show it to you. I don't know if you can read it. I'm filming this with my phone. So it says, "When someone whom I have benefited and in whom I have great hopes gives me terrible harm, I shall regard that person as my holy guru." So when someone whom I have benefited and in whom I have great hopes gives me terrible harm, I shall regard that person as my holy guru. Now this is exactly the opposite of what we do. Normally when we have great hopes in someone and we love someone terribly and we care for them and we help them and we invest a lot of energy and a lot of thought and a lot of love and kindness and whatever it is that we invest in them, time, energy, and they disappoint us, betray us, we think that we have the right to be angry, and we do, and we think that we have the right to be righteous and upset and resentful and to harm them in return, eye for an eye. But this verse says is exactly the opposite, that when someone does that to us, we have a precious opportunity of looking inside ourselves and seeing how we react to pain and sorrow and regret and hurt. And if we can use this opportunity to work on ourselves so that we can understand that everything that happens in life happens for a reason, and not only that, everything that happens in life is part of our human experience. Pain is part of our human experience, regret, sorrow, grief, and also compassion and forgiveness and letting go. We can choose which direction our emotions are always going to arise. Nowhere in the yogic tradition, and I think also in the Buddhist tradition, I'm not sure, I'm not a Buddhist specialist, but I can tell you that in the yogic tradition, nowhere you're going to find someone telling you to suppress your emotions, not to feel something. Emotions are going to arise as long as we live in a body. What is asked of us, yoga practice, the heart of yoga practice, is not so much the physical postures, but to be willing to look a little deeper into our motivations, into our reactions, to be willing to maybe look at them calmly, without attachment, and maybe be able to twitch a thing or two in time. I could only understand this when it actually happened to me, when someone hurt me so profoundly and I was lost in grief and anger and righteous feeling, resentment, and feeling that I should punish them or give them the same. And that took me nowhere. I had the right to these feelings. They were natural, maybe you could say, but it took me nowhere. After months, I was exactly in the same place. And it was only when I could soften my heart and look at myself in all kindness and compassion, and look at myself like, look at me suffering. Look at the things, the aggression that arises in my heart when I am in pain. Only then I could actually start to heal and feel compassion for the other person too, which made me heal even faster. Namaste.